This is the one with all the usual suspects.
A toilet alibi.
A very big house in the country.
Sparkling cyanide.
A giant wasp.
No unicorn.
And Agatha Christie.
It's called The Unicorn and the Wasp.
Here we go!
We're still on our endless voyage, all through time and all through space.
With Levine and angels now, Daleks, Cybers, and dude, wow!
Tennant, Smith and Eccleston, Gallifrey, where it all began.
Doctor Who is cool again, that was Russell's master plan.
Who back when? Reviewing all new Who there is. Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please.
Rose and Donna, Amy Pond, Rory, Martha and beyond. Join us on this odyssey, what other choice could there be than Who back when? Who back when?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Doc
podcast.
Okay, you two caught that up. My name's Marie.
Hello, Marie.
This episode is N049. The Unicorn and the Wasp.
The Wasp.
This guy is
Drew back when?
and this guy
Is Ponkin. Hello.
hi. If you missed it, my name is Marie.
And don't you forget it.
Does The Unicorn and the Wasp constitute a historical, or is this... No, this is a pseudo-historical.
It's semi, because some of it is based, like she did go disappear for 10 days.
But also, there is an alien in this.
But there's so
Yeah.
that's not historical, really.
Exactly.
Accurately.
Yeah, so pseudo-historical.
Or is it?
It's a plausible retconning of history.
Very plausible. I mean, yes, exactly.
All right, okay. A
Emphasis on
conceivable,
plausible.
a conceivable retconning of history.
An immaculate conception of history.
Look.
She does not get boned by a bee.
Plausible can mean with non-zero certainty, so whatever.
Excellent. So that's what that is. I'm glad we cleared all this up. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just for context, we just recorded our bonus episode about who we thought the next Doctor might be, and we've been drinking sherry throughout. Sherry! Shall we jump into Bite-Sized Chunk of Who?
Let's.
Time for us to synopsize.
Slurpify and summarize.
So take a view
And grab a brew.
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of who.
Bite-Sized Chunk of Who.
Doc and Donna rock up in 1920s landed gentry England to gatecrash a party hosted by Lady Clemency Edison and hosting a veritable who's who of the cast list of Cluedo.
Among the guests is none other than Agatha Christie herself, and appropriately, the house soon becomes the scene of a gruesome murder.
Equally appropriately, the infamous jewel thief, the Unicorn, is thought to be on the prowl. Now, Doc, Donna, and Agatha freaking Christie have to solve the case.
Is. All of them. Be scout over, you are welcome. Aren't you just? Okie dokie. Anyone want to start us off with a question?
Yeah, did you see this originally in 2008?
Yes.
Of course.
Obviously.
Well,
Obviously.
you know, I'm realising that I hardly saw any of this series in 2008. And I'm the one who says Donna Noble's brilliant and she's the best thing that ever happened, and I hardly saw any of it. And do you know why I hardly saw any of this series in
Because
2008?
of Donna Noble?
No, because in 2008, we had all met each other and were at Oxford Brookes on our course, and this series was going on as we became friends.
Ah,
That's amazing.
That's nice.
And so I was with my wife quite a lot that semester, and so I missed most of the series.
Wow.
Well, I was single and saw it all.
I don't find friends or relationships an obstacle to watch Doctor Who. I guess we're just better Whovians than you are, Drew.
That doesn't mean that my opinion is any less valid.
No, absolutely not.
My question.
Okay, go for it.
So they just seem to appear there and kind of go, "Oh, where are we?" They've not been any... How did they get there?
I took it to be that they had taken a wrong turn, that they were actually going to the planet Zop, or Zog, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And that when she says it, she actually means it. Like, oh,
Okay.
screw the planet Zop, or whatever it was. This is much better.
Yeah. It just seems like it doesn't have any intention anymore. He just appears places.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Sets the controls to random.
Sure, if I'm not mistaken, I think JD mentioned this at one point on a prior episode of Who Back When, that there's a whole season in which the Doctor turns on an actual randomizer.
Oh.
And every episode, he has no idea where he's going. But there used to be a time when the Doctor would check the scanner before opening the door. You know, like, is there oxygen? Yeah, all right, excellent. You know, is it snowing? Great. Wear boots.
Isn't his scanner broken, though?
Is it? Why would it be broken?
I don't know.
Isn't the TARDIS in general a bit broken? I mean, its camouflage, its chameleon circuit is broken.
Yes, but that's just the chameleon circuitry.
All right.
Either way, I feel like he already knew. He should have already known that they were on Earth, obviously, and in England, obviously.
Look, times are wasting. We've got an adventure to start.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
I think the start should have been slower and more boring and prosaic.
Okay, well, it's interesting that you say that, because I think that the pre-credit sequence is a massive giveaway. I mean, sure, in next week on Doctor Who, we got to see a giant wasp. But no
unicorn.
But no unicorn.
What's up with that?
Oh. But in this one, I mean, 10 seconds into the episode, we already see that the killer is a human being turning into a massive wasp.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit of a, I mean, let us figure that out.
Because I have issues with this, because as well as giving it away to the audience, the wasp shows himself to everyone. He's not afraid of, like, being.
I don't think he can help it. I think he is like the Hulk.
But why is he...
Oh my god, Hulk. Yes. Oh, don't get me angry.
But why does he bother to disguise the murders so it looks like they've been done by humans?
Oh.
Like, why does he beat him? You see him with the lead pipe in his hand, and he's a wasp.
Yeah. I think that because they have no conception of this alien, they turn up, they see someone's been hit with a nearby lead pipe, you're going to assume it's a human.
Yeah.
But then
that makes perfect sense.
But then everyone's seen the wasp, like, a bit later. He just goes flying around and everyone's like, oh, look at that giant wasp. And he still continues. The next guy gets stabbed in the back with a knife.
Yeah.
And by that point, they all know there's a giant wasp killing people.
That's a very good point. That's a super good point. Oh, wait, hang on. Does he lose his stinger?
Well, on a wasp that size, surely it's going to grow back.
Oh,
which it does.
Even says
immediately.
So. Does it? Does it? I didn't really...
Yeah. Then next
that.
time you see it, he has one. Yeah.
Ugh. That's just because they didn't want to do a second CGI render.
Yeah, basically.
Like, we'll just reuse the same model, that's fine.
But I mean, they couldn't exactly make the Reverend walk with a limp, because then you'd know it was him. I mean, they at least managed to keep that element of mystery, for me at least.
You're equating the sting with a leg.
Well, he's lost a bit of his anatomy.
Yeah, let's say his dick has fallen off. Yeah, he's gonna limp. He's clearly gonna limp.
He's going to be a bit bow-legged, anyway. He's going to be a bit ginger, a bit cautious with his movements.
Oh, I have so many enormous problems with this episode. Okay, hang on, wait. Just in summary, did you like this episode?
No.
No from Marie.
Yes.
From Drew. No from me as well. I mean, no, sorry. Actually, no. Because there are a few things that are very charming about it. Why did you like it, Drew?
I liked it because it was fun.
Okay.
And, this one, this may help to put it in some context.
Actually, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Gareth Roberts wrote this one.
Yeah. Who also wrote?
He wrote the Shakespeare Code. Mm-hmm. He wrote The Caretaker.
Ooh.
Yeah, another fun episode where, a bit more human than usual.
With the new Caretaker, the new one.
With Capaldi. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah, exactly. He is capable of greatness. Yeah. He did also write, however, The Lodger and Planet of the Dead.
Oh.
So, not everyone's a winner.
Which one's Planet of the Dead?
Planet of the Dead is the Tennant special where the bus flies off at the end.
Oh. Wow.
I think the dialogue is really hammy, and I was all like, oh, this is really awful, why is it so poorly written? And then realised that it's because Drew's making faces because he wanted to say this.
I'm not, I'm just surprised.
Okay. It's because they've tried to shove in as many Agatha Christie novel titles as they can.
Oh.
So whenever there's a line that sounds really awkward, it's because it's a title of a book. So
really? Wait, give us an example.
So like Dead Man's Folly, she says.
That one didn't stick out too much for me.
No.
I suppose there was a welter of them, so I didn't.
There's something about the appointment with death.
Oh yes, at the very end when he takes a plunge.
There's a few more, but
Yeah, Agatha's dialogue got increasingly stilted.
Yeah, it definitely did. That's interesting. I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah. So I gave it a little bit more leeway because of that, because it wasn't just terrible writing, it was for a point. But then that makes me think it's maybe blame the actors then, because...
Well, no, I feel like we've got a red thread here, because wasn't it the exact same scenario in the Shakespeare Code? Weren't they trying to ham-fist Shakespeare quotes into everything?
Well, it was Dylan Thomas, which was the weird thing. This one at least is the correct author.
Yes, I remember that. Well, I remember that from our review. Yeah.
I don't think it's any limitation necessarily of an actor that they can't deliver a really weird thing to say believably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that they introduced, allowance for that quite well with Donna going spiffing, whizzing, top hole, Beezer at the beginning.
I hate Donna, by the way.
Oh, what? Really? Me too.
Oh, she's terrible.
Yeah.
I
She's
think
really terrible in this one as
I
well.
think she's good in this one.
Oh, well, you're wrong. So
No, I'm not. I'm just outnumbered.
I think you're right, though, in saying that this is a fun episode.
Yay!
I agree with you. I think this was a romp and a half. I mean, I rewatched this episode now twice, and I didn't ache through it. It was a pleasure to rewatch. But it is dumb in places. I mean, it's really dumb. There are some things that make no sense whatsoever.
Like what?
Okay, let's just get to it right away. The absorption of Agatha Christie's literature into the priest/wasp is wholly unnecessary.
Oh, nice use of holy.
Holy. Nicely done. Yeah. So he absorbs it from the book that his mom was reading.
Completely unnecessary.
And but then somehow has a connection to Agatha herself.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh,
like,
that's because she grabs the stone.
Oh, that's because she's holding the stone.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure? Because then the stone gets thrown in the lake, and he still has that connection with her.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It is also to do with her writing and her imagination.
Yeah, I thought it was the imagination.
Sort of provides the limits of his worldview in a weird way.
Well, okay.
While at the same time he knows about all the universe.
His mom held the stone, wore the stone for 40 years, and he doesn't have that weird connection with her. It's Agatha.
It's just all of a sudden, it's because he got angry.
Yeah, and also the book's
That's what
just
triggered
an
it.
object in her hands. It's not like he thinks everything has to be oak paneling or interior decoration of various kinds.
What bothers me about the whole thing is that he has been living a perfectly normal human life up until this point, right? I mean, okay, yeah, maybe not the stereotypical human life because he was raised by
The
monks?
Christian fathers.
Priests in an
Right, by priests, okay. And he became a priest himself. Everyone doesn't grow up to become a priest. So it's not the stereotypical upbringing. But he did grow up as a human around humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, by absorbing Agatha Christie's literature, all of a sudden he became aware of murder.
Yeah.
Because he's going off to kill lots of people, right? And so he does it in one case by blunt force trauma, in another case stabbing the person, in another case by squashing the person under like a gargoyle. Like, oh wow, it's only because Agatha Christie's literature is now inside his brain hole that he's doing this. Clearly he would have murdered them anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like it taught him how to be a human being.
Way. It's when he transforms into a Vesper form, which he's never done. Has he never done it before?
I don't think he has done it
last
before.
Thursday night when she was reading the book. So that's what provided the template for his Vesper form, I don't know, mind matrix.
Because that's the first time in 40 years that he's been angry.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So he's never been... Yeah, exactly.
It's a pretty cushy job being a 19th century, 20th century reverend.
Yeah, they don't go through puberty, for example. But not the reverend, maybe, but they will never have gone through puberty. They will never have been angry, is my point. Another question about the priest. Is he a local priest? I mean, I'm going to assume so.
Yeah, people know
It's
him.
not like... Yeah, exactly.
He's the parish priest.
Yeah.
He just happens to have moved over from America to that exact parish church.
Because, I mean, I'm going to assume he knows who she is, right?
But in that he knows that she's his mom, or just that she...
Yeah. You don't think so? You think it's the whole Hulk scenario that clears this up for him?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the odds that he's a local priest? What?
Yeah.
And also, are we saying that he didn't know she was his mum? Because
Wait, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm starting to question it now.
No, because if it is revealed that she is his mum, he doesn't go, "Mummy, at last! Oh, my childhood, I wanted to meet you." It's just like,
let's kill all your party guests.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because, well, he's killing them so that it doesn't get out, so that nobody finds out who he is.
No.
Isn't
What?
he?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sorry. Yes, you're right.
Because the guy in the beginning, in the library,
figured
finds
out-
the birth certificate.
Yeah.
He figures out who he is. And then
The
maid...
Exactly.
Then
He kills her because she was there when he was born.
She puts two and two together and realizes.
Yeah. So he squishes her with a gargoyle.
Yeah.
As
But
you
the
do.
guy
This-
in the library...
Yeah.
He had
Professor.
no way of knowing.
Professor Peach.
It doesn't say on his birth certificate part Wasp. Like, all he would have known
No.
was that this is this woman's long lost son.
Exactly.
So why does he kill him.
Yeah, and also, by the way, so there's a birth certificate. Does that mean, that would mean that he still has the same name? He's carried on the same identity? No, that's not what happened. She had a kid, she didn't want that kid, you know what? There shouldn't be a birth certificate.
But because that's the bit of burnt parchment that says maiden, so I assume that's maiden name.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah.
So because she had the baby in that room that they keep locked up, right?
Yeah.
She had the baby there, and then presumably the maid took the baby to the father's and just dumped it, like in a basket on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rang the doorbell and then ran away.
Yeah.
Rang the doorbell? What do you know? So that's what happened. There wouldn't be a paper trail.
No.
So that's already one murder that's completely just out of the blue. Right?
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he must, I'm assuming he's figured this out. He must know. Right?
Hang on, who's he at this point?
What's his face? Mr. Hulkmeister. What's his name?
Oh, Reverend Template. I don't know.
Reverend Template. Yes, exactly. Yes, precisely.
That's fun, though.
It is fun. It is fun.
How many times can I get away with that as the argument?
I think that's the last one.
Oh, nuts.
There are quite a few very vulgar references in this one as well.
Really?
Do you not think so?
Enlighten us.
So she asks, maybe this is just me being a foreigner or reading modern slang into this. But she goes, am I a flapper or a slapper?
Yeah. I did think, it's a family...
Flapper girl, great.
Slapper.
It's like, do I look historically authentic or do I look like a slut?
Yeah.
That's basically what she's asking, which
Yeah.
is slightly inappropriate.
Yeah. And it's quite a modest... It's a 20s dress she's wearing. It's not like a miniskirt.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no reason to bring that into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
She just thinks she's funny because she rhymed some words.
Yeah.
Donna.
Exactly. Then we have all the alibis, which is the person who's actually the unicorn, the girl from Rogue One.
Yeah.
What's her face?
Felicity Jones.
Bingo bongo. Felicity Jones, who goes like, oh, what were you doing Tuesday evening? Well, I took a massive dump. Like, her line is really like, well, if I'm not mistaken, I was shitting at the time.
There's a different meaning to at toilet nearly 100 years ago.
Sure, but I mean, oh my god, we get to hear that she went to the toilet a few times too often. I feel. Well, fine, she goes to the toilet. The other one is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And then the dad, the paterfamilias, he's wanking. He's looking at erotica.
Oh,
he's
God,
like, oh
yes.
yeah, it was a marvelous
Yes,
time.
yes.
I believe I was reading something. And then he gets really into his...
He has this little fantasy
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
I remember seeing the ladyboys dance in Mafeking.
The guy,
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
guy goes on a walk. He's like, I was totally on my own, completely. And actually,
Yeah, there wasn't any buggery at all.
I wasn't receiving a sneaky HJ from the butler.
Yeah, everyone's doing something a bit naughty.
Yeah. Yeah,
If you-
exactly.
Not that going to the toilet's not naughty, but
No, but having a massive steamer is. I mean,
in someone else's house.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
just plain rude,
Yeah.
Rogue One. That is plain
But
rude.
so's murder.
Oh, that's right.
Not totally
You know what?
polite.
You're right. That's not comme il faut. All right.
But hang on. Was that actually Felicity Jones or is this just a joke?
no, that is Felicity Jones.
Felicity
Wow.
Jones,
That's 100% Rogue One.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Very weird.
And Stephen Hawking's wife.
Who?
In
Oh, yeah.
was
What's
it
it
called?
called? Not a beautiful
Theory of
mind. That's the
Everything.
other
Theory of
one.
Everything.
Theory of
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Oh, I forgot that Rogue One was in that. Okay.
So, one of the things,
Go for it.
one of the scenes I liked was the Doctor being the inspector from Scotland Yard and Donna being his plucky lady assistant.
Do you mean that line? Did you like that line?
I liked the line, I'll pluck you in a minute.
Of course you did.
So there are a few times when she says something where in fact, in one case, she just opens her mouth and I am instantly annoyed.
That's prejudice, man.
No, it's in the beginning, in the, okay, so first off, when she goes, oh yes, Pip Pip, terrible.
Harold.
Absolutely terrible. And then at one point, she just laughs at, the line is, oh, why did you make him a Belgian detective? And Agatha Christie goes, oh, because the Belgians make such lovely buns. And there's just a super quick cut to, like, everyone's laughing, and then there's a super quick cut to Donna just going, ah!
Oh dear.
Terrible.
Oh.
Absolutely terrible. Got another line here. I'll soundbite this just because it's another vulgarity. When Rogue One has been outed as the unicorn, she goes,
Go on then, you knobs. Arrest me.
No, that's slang for rich people, for toff.
oh, is it really?
Yeah.
It's not knob as in penis.
No, I don't think it's even got a K.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, like nobility.
Yes.
Interesting.
There you go.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that
I thought she
either.
was calling them knobs.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, you penises.
Yeah. Dick faces.
Exactly.
I've gone and done it though, but you can't blame me, can I?
Oh my God. All right.
Oh.
All right. Taken from my notes. If capable of being posh, then why return to shit pronunciation and grammar?
Yeah, there ain't
Posh.
nothing wrong with that.
Posh does not equal better.
No, but she suddenly loses control of grammar.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Pygmalion. When she gets outed in Pygmalion, she doesn't suddenly return to her old ways of speaking because now she's almost
gentrified.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
she's a
that's
little
just
bit too
papering,
sophisticated for that.
That's just papering over who she really is. When you must have this, and you must have this as well.
Yeah.
When you talk to your parents on the phone,
Yeah.
your voice is completely different because that's who you were when you grew up.
Certainly.
She's putting on an accent to try and fit in with them, and as soon as she's outed, then there's no need to put on.
But it's not just the accent.
The pretense.
It's everything. Absolutely everything. And
But I
I
don't
feel
know-
like that wouldn't be the case.
I don't know why I'm trying to defend her because it was awful and I hated it.
It was really bad.
But both of it, the posh accent was terrible and the non-posh. What do we call those? Commoners.
Colloquial
The rough accent was
standards.
both
Yeah,
terrible.
not standard at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy either of it. Yeah.
I sort of bought the sophisticated one. Sort of.
It just,
It's not my first language.
they all felt very over the top. Like,
Oh, yes, it couldn't
Definitely.
have been more.
Yeah.
But it was being played for laughs, I thought.
yeah. Is it fun?
It was a bit fun. Did you think that the doc walking through the Ardennes because Charlemagne had been kidnapped by an insane computer was fun? And when can we see that?
Hello, I have a point about this.
Make it.
Is this a tidbit?
My theory. So remember the first episode I did with you guys was Blink,
Yeah.
and we see the Doctor with a fucking bow and arrow on his back.
Oh, you're so right.
I don't know, but I wondered whether that was a nod to.
Well, it's
the missing episode.
That's a super clever connection.
It certainly is a parallel. I mean, if the insane computer is travelling through time, then maybe, because otherwise why would the Doctor be travelling through a location on the way to 800s Belgium, when they have their shop set up? That's not the right time.
What?
He wouldn't stop by the DVDs shop on the way to Charlemagne. He's got no reason to be there and that to be in the same adventure. But that's what it made me think of as well.
Oh.
So I wish it worked.
Oh, doesn't it work?
I don't know.
Oh.
What do you think, Leon? You arbitrate.
Check this out. So while you've been deliberating, I looked up Charlemagne on TARDIS Wikia to see if Charlemagne has popped up elsewhere in Doctor Who. Clever boy, clever. First mentioned in The Unicorn and the Wasp. Since mentioned in nowhere. But not on TV. However, he does pop up in a novel called The Lonely Computer.
Oh.
Right? How cool is that? So, question is, I'm going to look this up now. The Unicorn and the Wasp aired. When did it air?
2008.
2008. 17th of May 2008. And The Lonely Computer was published on 2008. Oh, well done. So the BBC already knew that this was happening. Maybe it already had come out. Yeah. So it's like the Marvel expanded universe, the Marvel universe. They're just expanding the Who-niverse by going, oh, well, actually, that thing that happens in that novel, 100% canonical. Absolutely happened.
Love it.
Cool, yeah, that was it.
Bottle off.
Bottle off? Oh, bottle off, yes. The butler.
Greaves.
I mean, you're not going to sell us on Donna, I think.
She said bottle off.
Bottle off.
Yes, bottle off.
All right, I need to investigate. You just bottle off.
Buttle is a verb.
Okay.
Back formation from Butler.
Oh, I made a note about how I thought you would react, Marie.
Oh.
Because there's yet another... Oh, we're not a couple.
We're not married.
Exactly.
We're not a couple.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you.
You have already spent 3 times more time on that than they did. There was just like a quick, no, we're not, shrug. Move on.
It was
They moved on.
Oh.
It was almost understated. I say almost because that's impossible with Donna, but it was as close as you get.
But it's not understated when it's in every single episode.
It's something they
Every
do.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's their Is it like a catchphrase? Maybe it's like their catchphrase.
It's not. I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really bug me. I just wrote it down because I know that it bugs you.
It did bug me. Can we jump forward as well?
Absolutely.
To
Are we speaking of bugs?
the kiss?
Oh.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And that whole scene, that whole ruckus.
My only note about that kiss is the worst possible shock.
It would work though, wouldn't it?
Well, it did.
It's also the note immediately after pantomime shit.
Yes.
Wow, that was a
Yes.
terrible scene.
I feel like if I really desperately needed salt to live, I would spit out my walnuts and just say the word salt.
I mean, he had enough time and energy and a voice to say lots of other stuff.
Loads of other stuff.
He was busy swilling the ingredients around his mouth.
Well, he even goes like, "Oh, Harvey Wallbanger, is that really what would I do with a cocktail? Blah 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 blah." No, like he could just go, "Just give me something salty." Crazy Jesus.
Or he
What?
could grab the fucking anchovies himself.
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
wait, that's way better. Yeah. No, what she said. What
He
she said.
doesn't know where they are, but Agatha Christie knows exactly where everything is in that kitchen.
Absolutely. She's got
There's
it
also
memorized.
kitchen staff in the room, by the way. I mean, maybe they could help.
No, they're the servants. That's not their place.
Oh, of course.
They
yeah.
have to be invited to.
But it seemed like that was... You liked this episode because it was really funny. I agree with you. It was at times very funny, but this scene seemed like such a forced attempt at being funny. It was pantomime, and and we've already had a conversation about pantomime. We have had 2 conversations about pantomime.
We have.
And
farce.
I'm not a fan of pantomime, and it was just too ridiculous, too slapsticky, and ugh.
Oh, like you get every person's charades every single time. Like, first, the guns at Navarone, yes. Straight up, next.
No, I don't, in answer to your question.
So you might get it wrong and say something stupid like Harvey Wallbanger. Yeah. You just agreed to that.
Yeah. It also, I think if you look back at that scene, it seems as though, I don't know what the name of the actress who plays Agatha Christie is, but it seems like she almost can't keep a straight face during that scene.
Because it's too funny.
I don't know that it's too too something.
Because she's a serious actress and she's like, what the hell is happening
God,
right
what
now?
is this? This is...
What did I sign up for?
Where's the shark? I feel like we're jumping.
Well, that leads us to the next question.
Yeah.
Has Agatha Christie, actress, been in anything else? What is her name?
Oh,
I really recognised her, but I don't know.
I'm looking her up.
Look her up.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Do it. Other things that are annoying...
Yeah.
When they do I'm calling it a summation gathering because the internet told me that's what it was called. And they come round and go, you
Oh, you're pointing the finger at me.
didn't kill the person. And then they look at someone and then they look over here and that really annoyed me.
Oh, wasn't it really good though when they pointed at Lord Fatty Wheels and he stood up and said, "I've had this terrible secret." And
Okay.
That was kind of
That
fun.
was quite good, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I did quite like that.
And Donna kind of bugged me in that bit because she was like, she did it, he did it. And
she's standing in for the audience.
Oh my god, let him fucking finish his
She's saying
sentence.
what we're all thinking.
I wasn't thinking that.
You weren't?
No.
What were you thinking? You were thinking, "Shut up, Donna, let him get on with it."
Yeah, basically. Let the man speak.
Okay,
Right,
so the one who plays Agatha Christie,
What's her name?
she has possibly the best name ever. Her name is Fenella Woolgar.
Wow.
Fenella. Fenella. That is an amazing name. She's a Londoner. She played Agatha Christie in Doctor Who, but her number 1 credit on IMDb, not chronologically, but she's most famous for Bright Young Things, in which she played Agatha. I'm on my way to see if this is Agatha Christie.
It just
No, it's
really
not.
looked like Agatha Christie.
No, it's not. It's just Agatha. But
Wow, that's some lazy ass casting.
Swallows and Amazons. She was in that last year. Oh, wait, check this out. She was in 2 episodes of Agatha Christie's Poirot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was in Lord Edgware Dies as Ellis and in Halloween Party as Miss Whittaker. That's pretty cool. I
That's
quite
nice,
like
yeah.
that. She was in St. Trinians.
Ah.
Yeah, as Miss Cleaver.
The remake, we should say.
That's a sexy name.
No, that's Miss Cleavage.
No. Yeah, actually, yes. Way sexier.
So what did you think? Because I thought she really looked the part.
I
Yeah.
really liked her. I thought she was cracking, actually.
She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very good. And there were a few scenes where her interplay with Tennant was just spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like when she took him to task and said, wait, I think I wrote this down. How like a man to have fun when there's disaster all around him.
Oh, yes.
That was a
Yeah.
nice
That was
line.
very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you go, girl. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Cut him right down to size.
I had to Google this, by the way. I didn't realize that Agatha Christie did disappear. Not for 10 days as in this episode, 11 days.
11.
Yeah, I did not realize that's completely true.
I think I'd heard about that, or I googled it the first time I watched this episode, but I was aware. But that was one of the things that kind of annoyed me most about this episode, is that there is an actual mystery there. There's a real life. What happened to Agatha Christie? And you get there on the day that she disappears, and it's all mysterious, and we think we're going to find out, and then it's just, Doctor dropped her off in his TARDIS 10 days later.
Yeah.
And I feel like, wouldn't it have been a much more interesting episode to explore those 10 days?
Well, presumably she was just unconscious for 10 days.
Yeah, they gave her medical treatment.
In this version of events, but I mean, like, if you're gonna take that as
I see what you're saying. Yeah. You're oh my goodness, yes, that would make...
Wouldn't that have been fascinating?
Yeah. You know what? The BBC just missed a trick, because that would have been a perfect bit of Agatha Christie lore.
Yeah, exactly. And
rather than just use her as a character in something else.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Oh.
So that kind of bugged me, because they set you up for it, and they tell you all this story, and then it's just such a letdown when you find the end of it.
Where were you when they were penning this episode? Yeah. No, that's very, very true. Good point.
Until 5 minutes from the end, they were answering that mystery perfect, because by the side of the lake they're saying, she'll forget all this, and that's why she doesn't start writing stories about giant wasps. Although we'll get to that.
Oh no. Okay.
But then 10 days later they're waving her goodbye as she walks into the hotel, so of course she's going to ask, who the hell are you and what's your blue box doing there? And does everything that one scene.
Yeah.
Also, why did they bring her to a hotel in Harrogate?
And why was it 10 days later?
Well, 10 days could be because she was actually just unconscious. Maybe it took them exactly that long a time to, get her to recuperate. But why bring her there?
It just felt like he'd read that this is what happens to Agatha Christie, so I will make this happen to Agatha Christie. He was just...
But that's Bill and Ted logic.
Yeah, no.
That's not...
But he could have done it. He could have explained that she was in a coma, and they dropped her off at the hospital, and she woke up in the hospital. She didn't have to do the wavy goodbye, although she didn't. She just turned, and they watched her.
Oh, it was a hospital. It wasn't a hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was, because it was the hotel, Harrogate Hotel.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Hotel.
very inventively named.
Yeah.
It was a hotel in Harrogate. Guess what we should call that?
What I'm saying is it would have been easy. I can't do it off the top of my head now, but 2 minutes of application, and we could rewrite this to make it work.
Yeah.
True.
Gareth.
Okay.
So we get a reference to the other Gareth episode. We get some Carrionites.
Oh yes, in the box of C's.
In the box of C's.
They're quite a small box of C's for.
Bigger on the inside.
Wait. Sorry, it's a what was that? What was that line again?
It's a very small box of C's.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Drew is blushing.
Oh dear.
So yeah, and we hear the Carrionites still screaming, and the Doctor couldn't care less. It's like, eternal torment for those. Put them here.
Toss them to the side.
Also, maybe be a little bit more careful with that thing, because if he cracks the glass, are they going to escape? Like, what is going to happen?
True.
Yeah.
I think it's like toughened glass.
Also, that is so hot. Have they not suffered enough at this point?
Yeah.
I feel like they have.
No, I don't think they have.
You don't think they have?
I don't think they've repented of their evil ways.
Oh, screaming forever. It's actually...
At least they're not at the heart of a star or something. At least they get to accompany the Doctor on adventures.
Oh, right. Do you mean at least they haven't been chained up in chains forged from a collapsed something?
Yeah, exactly. Or just tricked by being thrown out into space.
No.
Here we are in Harrogate. Whoops, no, it's deep space. My mistake, the circuits are all screwy.
Anyone else got any particular points to make about this
Wasp!
Wasp! We haven't talked about the Wasp! Oh my goodness. Go for it, Drew.
For me, this episode was a sort of JD hothouse situation, because
really?
I fucking hate Wasp. It did scare me a couple of times.
Did it?
Really?
It wasn't too much of a stretch to, I probably had dreams about it, to imagine a wasp that size chasing me through the fucking house. Pretty terrifying. And also, I thought that for Doctor Who CGI, it looked pretty good.
I think so as well, actually. It was good. Well done. Oh, you don't agree?
I was going to say it wasn't good
CGI.
Looked naff. And it looked like quite a cheap episode, because whenever they could, they would film the reaction from someone rather than the wasp. So you get people just backing into a corner going,
Interesting.
Which, yeah.
I think the only cheap element of the effects were the lights.
Yeah.
The very, I mean, we talked about this before we pressed record. The equivalent of Family of Blood, where in this case everyone gets just a green light. Like Agatha Christie has a green light. Why?
Well, no,
Why is the green light shining on Agatha Christie?
Magenta light.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
The Firestone coloured light.
Oh, is it magenta? Oh, right. And the Family of Blood, they have the green lights. That's what it is. Yeah, sorry. But why? There's no one there with a flashlight.
Firestone.
Well, the Firestone is in the bottom of the lake.
But it's connected to her brain by wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
And therefore, cosmic flashlights and strobes.
Yeah.
No.
No, you're right. That was the cheapest element.
That was very cheap. But in a way, that's still okay. Like it almost harkens back to classic Who. You know,
yeah,
you could still pull off this series if you filmed it in a BBC garage kind of thing, just a dark room with boxes.
That's a bar you've set there.
That's what Doctor Who did, right? That's classic Who. That's a lot of classic Who.
I thought the Wasp's sting looked really good in the door.
Oh,
yeah,
they dwelt on that, and it did look biological, but also wooden. It was just good.
God, I'm so aroused by everything that's coming out of my mouth. However, Donna's reaction there was also terrible. It's like, oh, no, it's huge, but I don't mean huge.
It's flipping enormous.
Oh my goodness.
But they wouldn't believe her. They were just like, oh, you silly little thing. Just sit down. It's only a little wasp.
Point at the thing.
Yeah, she looks like it's a little thing. If you say it's human-sized, then people take that seriously. If you say there's a giant wasp next door, everyone's going to laugh
also,
at you.
just point at the huge stinger.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Do that first.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, check this out. Now I'm going to explain what this is.
Yeah.
Well, it's because she thinks they will get it and they're just being obtuse. And also, her articulateness has suffered a blow because there's a fucking 6-foot wasp on the other side of the door.
Okay. Another problem with the wasp.
Oh, no.
Okay, so the way that she escapes the wasp in that room, that first encounter with the wasp, her first encounter with the wasp, is by using the magnifying glass.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Dead clever.
Great. Well done, Donna. Minutes later, they encounter it again, because they're chasing it, right?
Yeah.
And she then scares it away just by holding it up. And it's as though this wasp, who is also has had a whole human life, has forgotten what a magnifying glass is. It's as though the wasp thinks, it's a Pavlovian reaction. Oh, no, that thing shoots laser beams. No, it's not. It's a magnifying glass, and you have seen a lot of them throughout the 40 years that you were surrounded by magnifying glasses and other human nonsense.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Well, I guess you could maybe you kind of lose a lot of your human memory or brain or whatever when you go into your wasp form.
Yeah, he's busy concentrating on how to fly and not bang into the walls.
Because actually that fits with what you were saying earlier about he absorbs the Agatha Christie book and therefore that shapes his worldview, and you kind of go, oh, but what about the 40 years before that? He's seen humans, he knows.
But does that mean that he is suddenly a completely different character now than he was days ago? I don't think so, because they invited him to the party and everyone knows him and he knows everyone.
No, but when you're in your human form, you're the human, and when you're in your wasp form,
you're in Agatha Christie land.
You're in Agatha Christie land.
Yeah, he couldn't give a sermon as a wasp.
I would agree with that.
Damn, both of you! You just shut up again.
But he's definitely a more intelligent wasp, because I don't think if you hit a wasp with a magnifying glass laser, it doesn't it's not then afraid of all magnifying glasses.
Also,
it's a Vespa form, isn't it? From the Cthulhu galaxy or whatever it was.
Less intelligent than a human, more intelligent than a wasp.
Okay, do you not think that maybe... a magnifying glass is a detective trope. It's a detective stereotype. Would he not recognize it from Agatha Christie land?
Ah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
Yes. Strong.
In both your faces.
Well done.
Okay.
Hoisted our own petards.
I love praise. Okay. I only have 2 more notes. And I have 4 more notes.
Wow.
5 more notes. Yeah, I have 5 more notes. Anyone want to jump in, or shall I grab one of these 5 notes?
You go for it.
All right. All the decent men are on the other bus. Or Time Lords.
Oh.
Yeah. It's another one in a long row of attempts by the, I guess, Doctor Who production team to go, guys, it's completely normal. Let's include it in our multimedia.
Yeah.
We had Captain Jack. How many times were there hints to, maybe the Doctor's bi? Why wouldn't the Doctor be bi? But that's not something that you could ever conceivably discuss in Classic Who. But now you can discuss it.
Although isn't his line, or Time Lords effectively telling that he's not?
That he's gay, actually, is what he's saying.
No, he's not.
No,
he's saying the opposite.
It's ambiguous.
Is it?
Because she says all the good men are on the other bus, meaning all the good men are gay.
Yeah.
And then he said all their Time Lords.
All the good men are
all
either
the good
gay
men are gay
or Time
Time
Lords.
Lords. He's not saying he's both.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's deliberately ambiguous. I think it's an equivoque.
Oh.
Yes, an ambiguous statement.
Do you?
Thank you, word of the day.
Well done. Well done, you and word of the day. Okay.
But I agree, it's nice to throw it in there and just have minor characters that are...
Yeah.
It's not a big plot point. It's
Exactly.
just
And it's something that I think Doctor Who does really well.
I think that's good.
Anyway, next note. Maiden!
Oh.
Who shouts that again?
Yeah, aside from that one little cutscene, Tennant, I think, does a very neutral... He gives a very neutral performance.
Really?
Show yourself!
That's neutral by Tennant standards. Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, am I carrying on?
No, I've got one.
Go for it, thank you.
The two worst actors in this entire episode.
Donna?
Nope. Nope, not even close. The thieves in the church, Beavis and Butthead. like the vicar comes up, you're stealing my stuff, and they're just like, they don't do anything or say anything. They're just fucking, vacant flesh bags. They're so pointless.
Vacant flesh bags. Oh.
No, I mean they could have reacted in some way. And also it just meant because they were so featureless that all the emphasis was had to be on the poor guy who had to go, I'm quite angry.
Oh yeah, that was a bit awkward.
Did you like that?
No.
I mean, it's not that
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
What's buzz because of the beating of their wings? It's not because they're shouting out, Buzz! I'm coming, Buzz!
Good point.
Okay,
Good point.
because there was a bit... When they're all sat down to dinner, and the priest guy is sat down with them, and they start hearing the buzzing, and it's like, where's the buzzing coming from?
I didn't think
Is
about
he doing it and throwing his voice, or because you hear buzzing and then you see a shot of him at the dinner table, and he hasn't got wings at that point.
Yeah, he's just got his mouth shut, so they can't identify the source of the
They
voice.
don't know where
and
it's coming
confusion.
from. Yeah,
I really like that scene where they're looking at everyone, and you're thinking, well, one of these bastards has to be the Wasp. But you're looking for clues in all the quick cuts. And I really liked it.
Because the first time I watched it, obviously you don't know it's him, and it is brilliant. And the second time round, I was like, well, what? How is it him? How can?
Oh, I hadn't thought about
How's he
that.
doing
That's
that?
a plot hole in my mind.
I think so.
I think that's a massive plot hole.
Yeah.
Okay, another question about him. So at some point she went to, was it Delhi?
Somewhere in India, I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was away anyway.
It was Delhi.
It was Delhi.
Okay,
Good
so
work.
she goes to Delhi. She sees
Handsome Christopher.
she meets handsome Christopher, who is actually a wasp, and who, God damn it, sees a wasp. He has taken on this human form in order to woo her. He takes her to the bone zone, and he drowns. Very sad story.
Because wasps can't fly above rivers.
No, they can't. So, story checks out. So he's now impregnated a human female with his wasp splooge.
Yeah.
She bears a child that has a human form, but that at some point turns into a wasp, meaning this child has both sets of DNA, right?
Yeah.
Why, when it turns into a wasp, doesn't it turn into like this gloopy, gloppy shit on the floor with like one wing? Like that's just in constant torment. Like, why doesn't it turn into
the
the
fly.
inside-out dog in the fly?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like,
Or at best, a Lazarus effect wasp.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, yes, the actual, is that what you mean? Like the end of the fly?
Yeah.
I was thinking of the inside out dog at in Fly and in Fly 2. You know, this thing should look like a total Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Just like,
Interbreeding not encouraged.
I did like Tennant's line. A little bit of buzzing there, Vecca.
Oh yeah.
So cheeky.
Okay, anything else?
The only thing I thought about the ending was I think it was kind of trying to be quite a thoughtful moment because they were saying, oh, isn't it sad, Agatha Christie never knew how famous she was.
Yeah.
And it just completely fell flat for me because, spoilers, but they kind of do the same thing with the Van Gogh episode.
Yeah, you're right. I thought about that as well.
Yeah, but they do it so well because he's had this tragic life. He's not well thought of when he's alive.
Yeah.
And they want to give him, like, they know he's going to kill himself. They give him this hope, and they get, like, it's so powerful. And I think, like, it brought me to tears, that episode.
Yeah.
And this episode, she's really famous. Everybody knows who she is.
And not just that, she at this point maybe thinks that she's not going to be, that she's going to remain just famous.
Yeah.
But before she died, she was well aware of the fact that she was super famous.
Yeah, she's, like, incredibly famous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she died like 30 or 40 years down the line.
But no, because
that's 30 or 40 years of being aware of her fame
Yeah.
down the line.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's dying like an unknown person and all my books will die.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
But in this episode, time's in flux for some reason.
hang on.
And so she might die.
Wait,
actually.
time's in flux?
Yes, the Doctor says, actually, we don't know how this one's going to end because I've decided time's in flux and we
Wait,
might
what does
not
that
have an
even
Agatha
mean?
Christie anymore. What does that even mean?
That means nothing. I didn't even notice that line.
It means that we don't have any fixed point in time bullshit, is what it means.
I just for context to show like how famous she was at this point.
Yeah.
So the 10 days that she went missing, she was the front page of the New York Times. We had 1,000 police officers looking for her, 15,000 volunteers, and several helicopters in the 1920s.
I didn't even realise they
helicopters?
had helicopters.
Exactly.
I was just about to say the same. What?
Exactly. So that's how famous and well thought of she was then.
Those
They're all
helicopters-
like Da Vinci helicopters.
Yeah, Mark 1.
This is according to Wikipedia. So, but
That's awesome.
yeah. So I just was trying to do something really sweet, and it just didn't really. I don't know if I would have thought it was nicer if you hadn't have had the Van Gogh episode to compare it so
Yeah.
directly to.
Yeah.
But it felt a little flat for me. I think.
Yeah, it was misplaced.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Death in the Clouds?
Oh
the
yeah.
book,
Let's.
Oh, yes. Yes, go for it. Go for it.
reprinted on paper in the year 5 billion.
In the year 5 billion.
Well, she did actually write a book called Death in the Clouds
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Good.
Well done.
Did you not have a tidbit about that? Or
Oh no,
something
I
to say
just
about that?
so because on the cover that he shows us, it looked like a giant wasp attacking a plane, and I was like, oh wow, Agatha Christie did sci-fi. That's really cool. I had no idea. And then I googled the book, and it's not. It's just like another murder mystery, and basically Poirot think they're on a plane, somebody dies, and they think it's an allergic reaction to a wasp sting. And then it turns out not to be. So just a regular wasp.
Yeah, but that's because she sort of dimly remembered it bled through into
And she
her
never
mind.
encountered another wasp in her entire life.
Yeah.
This must have been what inspired her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit silly.
Yeah.
Later remade with snakes. That's a film with Samuel L. Jackson.
Good work.
That's really good.
But it's good to know that publishing doesn't die out.
Yeah, exactly. So something else that you brought up before you pressed record was we've seen the end of the world.
Yeah, but I couldn't remember the date. But he takes Billy Piper to the end of the world in the first series.
Yeah, in the second episode.
Yeah.
Which
Do we have
it's
a
not
date?
the end. Oh, okay, yeah, it's the end of the Earth.
Yeah.
It's one of the many ends of the Earth, I think. I think we've actually talked about this on Who Back When. I don't really remember, but I think it's one of the many ways in which the Earth is seen to die.
Yeah.
But mankind itself
That's
sort of survives
true,
beyond
yeah.
that. Even though actually, no, that's not the case, because in that episode,
No, she's
Lady
the last
Cassandra
human.
whatever is the last human, yeah.
But I guess it doesn't mean that publishing can survive beyond humans.
That's right.
You know, the B
Why?
format.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a B format.
Also, need I remind
well
you?
observed.
Thanks.
Need I remind you, humans survive until the very end of the universe when Jacoby has a rocket full of them in Utopia.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They are the last people
When
around.
is that? Don't feel like they had many libraries aboard that massive ship.
True. No, I meant that humans survived. You were talking about did humans die out, and they just carry on all the way.
And they're very,
That
very
is true.
nostalgic, and they go like paperbacks die out, and then they get brought back again because
Yeah.
it's like retro.
It's the new hipster thing.
Yeah, it's my theory.
Must be really tough, because all those humans then get turned into, what are they called? The gonads.
Oh, the little balls,
Yeah, the
the
balls.
little silver balls.
The
Toclophane.
Toclophane. Can't turn a page as a Toclafane.
No, it has to be downloaded.
Yeah, sucks to be a Toclafane. Ebooks, though, huge among them. All right, sorry.
I have a point, which is that this series, one way or another, each episode seems to be addressing the concept of free will from a slightly different angle.
Oh, interesting. Talk us through this.
Like, this came up with the Sontarans when the Doctor said, I have to go up and give them a choice, even though free will as a concept doesn't apply to them, because it's their genetic code. They're a cloned warrior race.
Yeah.
Last week, what was last week?
What was last week?
You mean the one you missed?
Yeah.
Oh, the Doctor's daughter.
The Doctor's daughter.
Yeah, the Doctor's daughter. In that, the Doctor thinks that the human-bred soldiers are incapable of thought, and Jenny manages to overcome her instinct to kill and shoots the pipe instead of the old guy. And this week, we have the Wasp, and Donna drowns it. And the Doctor says, oh, it couldn't help it. And Doctor says, Donna says, neither could I.
I think she's lying.
Wait, hang on. Wait, what was that? What? Who does what and says what?
Donna throws the Firestone into the lake. Yeah. The Wasp goes in after it and therefore drowning because. And the Doctor says, oh, you shouldn't have done that. It couldn't help it.
He's like, because he wants to give, always he gives something
a chance.
The chance to change. So go to the Wasp. Don't kill any more people. Please. Yeah.
You may want to rethink your actions.
Yeah.
You're not. No, he does. He shouts up to the Wasp. You're not supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Donna robs him of that chance. She makes the decision for him, and that's what he doesn't like. I think if he'd have done it, it would be okay.
Okay.
But he doesn't like that choice to be taken away from him.
I see. Ooh. See, my thought was that this is coming up so often, I didn't know whether this was some recurring trope that would be resolved at the end of the series somehow in the big finale, but I can't remember.
Well, let's look out for it.
Yeah.
And
how many more episodes in this season?
5?
5
or 6.
So what we have coming up, by the way, oh my god, I'm so excited. Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead. We have Midnight, can't remember that. And then we have Turn Left. Huge. Yeah, that's wow. Neither one of us is good at doing Trump, apparently. I thought you'd be great. Do it.
I just tried. Don't make me try again.
And then we have The Stolen Earth and Journey's End.
6.
That's it, I think. The next Doctor is the Christmas special.
And then, is this the end of Turn? No.
Specials.
It's the specials after that.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly. Yeah, Planet of the Dead is a special. What's the Mars? Special. End of Time. Christmas special. Oh, my goodness. What? How weird. All right, yeah, I didn't realize that. Anyway, so that's all coming up. Are we done with this episode? Shall we jump into quick ratings?
Yep.
Anyone got anything else they want to say? Speak now, forever hold your peace. That sort of business.
I just wanted to speak on behalf of 19th century reverends.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't know if I'm certainly the minority in this room as a holy believer.
Yeah.
But every time there's a jibe at, like, Christianity or religion or Doctor Who, I can't help but wince a bit because it's part of my identity. And I just have to live with that, and that's fine.
Were there jibes in this episode?
Yes. The Reverend...
Also, you said 19th century.
So, well, I mean, he was born in the 19th century.
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh.
Turn of the century reverending.
He's always going to win.
He's always right.
Yeah. Always going to win. Anyway, the point... The point was that the Reverend was like, I've had my mind opened up. You and your silly tribal sky gods, blah, blah, blah.
I do remember that, yeah. You're right.
And I just wanted to say that, read it in a Bill Bryson book, a huge swathe of the Oxford Dictionary of National Biography is given over to reverends who in the 19th century, because they were this sort of middle class with nothing to do all week except give a sermon on Sundays, they actually really helped advance science. They dabbled the foundations of modern science. And the dictionary's full of them.
We're in Oxford right now. The first library building was where the monks stored their books on the high street. The library. Yeah. In direct connection with the church. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I just thought it was a bit of a cheap shot and just wanted to complain a bit.
True. Complain.
Never.
Yeah, all right then.
Can I end it on a better note?
Yeah, let's...
What have I got? I must have something.
Give us something.
Poppycock? No.
Edward Lear?
Edward Lear? Who's Edward Lear?
I had to look him up as well. I wrote children's books.
I liked that comment, actually, because from a person with no Doctor Who background, he does talk nonsense. He names all these planets and then creatures and time and space, and people just flow with it most of the time. They just seem to understand what he's saying, and she kind of goes, no, this is poppycock. This is like...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, she pulls him up on it again.
One thing I thought... Is the silent pool also an Agatha Christie book? Because that bit was stilted as balls.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Oh, we're at the silent pool.
There's something. I remember another one. It's like something about catching a bird or.
I don't remember this.
Did you not like the whole Donna seeding her imagination with Murder on the Orient Express?
Terrible,
and stuff?
terrible, terrible.
Copyright Double Noble.
Yeah.
I can't do an accent, I'm sorry, but
that was absolutely awful. Not your accent, Donna Noble.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, shame on you, Doctor Who, for doing that. Agatha Christie thought of those stories.
Yeah.
Let's not add some sort of weird backstory where, the only reason she had the idea for Murder on the Orient Express is because some bad actress said it in her presence.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Damn it, I really like this episode, but all my notes, my notes are full of rubbish. Like Miss Chandrakala, why don't you move when this thing is toppling from the top of the incredibly tall building?
Fair point. Yeah.
Oh, there must be something.
How did he know that she needed killing as well? Because he wasn't in the kitchen when she made the connection and worked out who he was, and she immediately left and said, "Oh, I must go and tell Mrs. Da-da-da." And then she got killed.
Oh, I don't have an answer for you. Drew?
Plot hole.
Why did he know that she was killing?
Like, Wasp guy was killing off people that could make the connection, that knew who he was.
Oh.
She figured it out and went to run off and tell her, mistress.
Yeah.
And immediately got killed. And
like she was never seen outside before that point.
Yeah.
Oh, this is mysterious.
all the while,
masonry
he
bomb.
wasn't inside. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, you're dragging my rating down
Sorry.
point by point.
Oh.
No, I think it's justified, actually.
Yeah.
And now it is time to rate this.
Did we love or hate this?
Bing bong, hey, la 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 la.
Ratings.
I think I'm going to be really harsh because it did annoy me quite a lot. I expected, you guys started this episode going, it was really fun. There were some really charming moments, and it was and it was funny. And you haven't. I don't think you've told me any nice charming moments. I don't know which bits you found funny. Therefore, I don't know. It's not much to praise. So I'm gonna give it a 1.
1. Wow. All right. 1.0 from Marie. Did you want to go last? Is that what you said?
I can go next.
All right, go
I'd
next.
tell Marie some of the things I liked. I liked most of the scenes where they were all together, all the suspects in the room together. I liked the one where Doctor shouted, "Show yourself," in the corridor, and everybody has a room, and they're all looking at him.
That was quite
that was
cute.
fun.
Yeah.
To square one.
Very
That's so
Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah. And I did mention the scene where the quick cuts and who is it, and just the mystery. They kept the mystery going throughout.
But that scene annoyed me.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I liked, Leon said, all the Dr. Agatha interchange.
Yeah, that was
Their
good.
dialogue. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into my real rating now. I can find it. It wasn't spankingly brilliant, but it was a fun historical mystery. There was a kiss that didn't derail a character's entire arc. It would have done for a lesser companion, Martha Jones. But Donna, she stays Donna. And Tennant played his Poirot well. Agatha was a really solid cameo. 3.5.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. That is way too high.
So fun. I had 3.5's worth of fun.
Wow. Okay, well, interestingly, I will say, I just looked up what this episode gets on IMDb, and it gets a 7.4.
Yeah, but IMDb are very overgenerous for TV stuff.
Are they?
Yeah, they score films a lot more harshly than TV. Like, if you get an 8 or a 9 in TV, it's not.
It's actually
doesn't
not that
mean
difficult.
it's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, extrapolating Marie's score to IMDb, no episode in history would have got a 2.
No, literally none.
Okay. All right. I will also say I did find this episode fun. I liked the Hanna-Barbera interludes, but I didn't like all the bits that were intentionally trying to be fun. I didn't like the slapstick. I think it's fair to say any of the Donna bits. Like, any time she said anything in this entire episode, it was an attempt at humor, and it fell flat, unfortunately. What I did like, though, was the ambience, the 1920s ambience. And that actually adds to the fun for me. It's like, oh, yes, they've got a nice car, it's nice music, everyone's very well-mannered. And then, obviously, the whole Poirot pastiche. Great. But because the alien doesn't make sense, I don't understand the backstory. I don't understand what the paperwork was. What did anyone figure out? Oh, I understand that it's the son, or I understand that it's the preacher, or I understand that they're the same. I don't get anything.
The maximum you get is they have the same name and were born at the same time.
Which I feel would in that case be like, oh, you know when the butler in the beginning introduces everyone? Oh, and here is the father. What was her name again? Hang on, what was her name? Something Edison?
Clemency Edison.
And here is Father Clemency Edison. Wait a minute! That's what it should have been like. Yeah. So that makes no sense. I'm going to give this it's a 2.1.
Okay. It's good. Episodes with a range of scores.
Absolutely.
Listener Mini.
We have a listener mini.
Oh, who's it from?
Tracy from America. That was pretty great.
I'm Tracy, and this is a mini. So, I do have some issues with plot here. However, all caps, the dramatic and comedic timing, acting and overall feel are working so well for me, I've decided to completely overlook the plot holes and talk about what I liked. Doc and Donna effortlessly crash a garden party in the 20s. They charm the lady of the house into thinking she's invited them, despite the fact that there are fewer than 10 guests present.
Tracy goes on, Agatha Christie shows up. Then they find themselves all solving a whodunit mystery for multiple murders on a dinner theatre. When Agatha finally has it mostly figured out, she gathers them to the sitting room and hashes out what she's discovered. Donna even sits expectantly while munching food as if it's all on a TV show. Wait, it is! Donna is on the wrong side of the fourth wall. Someone pull her out!
Where was I? Oh, right. Recall that the Vesper form is drowned chasing his magical plot gem, which Donna throws into a lake, presumably on purpose. Donna has what seems a throwaway line about how she couldn't help herself. I find myself wondering if this is a function of the fact that Agatha Christie's mind created the scenario. Is she directing both Donna and the Wasp?
Ooh.
Because so far, Donna is presented as quite compassionate, and the Doctor does not press her further on this point, and that's my word limit.
And she gives this a rating of the Wasp, the Wasp, oh no, not the Wasp! That's an excellent rating.
That's an interesting
That's a really
point.
interesting, yeah. Second time in a row, by the way, Tracy has contributed with some serious cleverness. What do you think? Is she also just working under the influence of Agatha Christie's weird creativity, gem energy shit?
Well, no, because if she was, Agatha Christie would be the first person to throw the thing in the lake. She's got the thing in her hand. She's the one with her own mind.
Yeah, fair point.
Agatha's the puppet master. She's an
Act?
actor.
She doesn't act?
I don't know.
Well, she has massive agency.
Yeah,
she
drives
steals
the
a car and just like vrooms down the road with that magic gem thing.
But she's right. It doesn't. Tracy's right, I should say. It doesn't fit with what we've seen of Donna in the past, because especially the
Ood?
not Rome,
Pompeii
episode, and she was desperately trying to save people, and that was like Drew's
point.
Yeah, like that was the thing that you kept hammering home, was how good she was and how moral she was,
how compassionate. She's the heart of the show.
Yeah, and that just does go completely out the window. So if it's not Agatha, then what? Donna just really hates Wasp?
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I just got it down to instinct.
I thought it was just dead clever.
Well,
So
you're in the
clever.
minority, Drew.
Tracy seems to have reviewed this much more akin to my review.
Yeah,
than
that's
your two
true.
reviews.
Yeah.
That is definitely
And
true.
also, where you say you didn't tell me where it was fun, just a lot of the questioning, the dinner theatre stuff Tracy mentions, all the dinner theatre stuff was fun, and that was a big part of the episode.
Yeah.
Except where Donna was involved. I mean,
I didn't do it!
But that scene... Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'm starting to think I was a little harsh, but I think Drew was overly...
Yeah.
So you're saying that someone in the middle, perhaps a little closer to your review than to mine, has probably nailed the perfect score.
I'm saying I'm balancing you out, Drew.
That's exactly right, Drew.
Oh, he loves praise.
Thank you so much for sending in your mini, Tracy. Ladies and gentlemen of Podcast Land, you can follow Tracy on Twitter. High five her online. I'm sure she will high five you right back. She is at That's Fountain Tracy. Backwards. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. This was a lot of fun. Next time, we are looking at...
Silence.
The library.
The next classic is going to be...
The Ambassadors of Death.
Indeed it will. And the next Audio Who review will be of The Cannibalists. Can people follow you online / would you like to plug anything in particular? Drew?
They can follow me at DrewBackWhen on the Twitter box.
Damn right they can. And Marie?
Oh, no, sorry.
If you do want to write in with a question for Marie, then
shit.
email the mailbag.
whobackwhen@gmail.com. You can high-five me online. I will high-five you back. Most certainly. I am @Ponkin. You know how to spell that. Thank you so much for listening. Be rad and excellent to each other, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time, ciao.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When, all in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account, no lie, so give us a follow. You guessed it, that's @WhoBackWhen, all in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next classic Who review, new Who review, or, still funny, audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?